That's G Scurvy Dogs, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mode, or rather, welcome to the final battle of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mode, Season 9, the Beast Raiders campaign. Yes, we have done it, we have completed wiping out the Tiger Cartel, but in one final brave action, they come at us with all of their might, power, and skill. However, unlike every single other, final battle that we've done, where we basically have a heavy core of battleships supporting a pretty interesting group of X-type heavy cruisers and X-type destroyers, I decided the pirates really wouldn't operate like that. Big main battle groups, that's not really their style at all. So I decided we have a Tigerheart cartel group that ran into a Beast Raiders group, and it obviously wouldn't be the massive fleet action. It would just be, a little group of people who kind of ran into each other. And so thus I decided one battleship and 2 heavy cruisers apiece. It just so happens that the game considers the large sun gliders like these back here to be heavy cruisers. It also appears the Tigerheart cartel does not have any form of, does not have any actual dreadnoughts themselves. When I looked through, they didn't have anything like this. This is of course being the Godfather class dreadnought. Yeah, none of that was to be found, and wow, this could hurt a lot. None of that was to be found, and it was basically just, well, all Federation ship types. I don't know if there's a problem in there, or if just the Tigerheart don't have dreadnoughts. They don't operate using any sort of thing like that. But it was interesting enough to me, and I decided, screw it, we're going to try it anyway. And so they've got a single DN+, along with 2 XCAs, which have pretty considerable point defense systems, or at least shields is what I mean to say. Their shields are very impressive. So 2 X-type heavy cruisers with, I would say, sort of questionable weapons capability, but then hilariously powerful shields, and this DM+. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no special missions for the pirate factions, it seems. I checked, I looked, there's nothing there. It's just the surprised, reversed, overwhelming, and a hostile skirmish, none of which are any sort of special narrative missions. There's nothing special about them, which is honestly a little bit disappointing. We had been kind of hoping to get a little bit of extra fun sort of thrown in there, just for a little bit of extra things to do, but it was not to be, it would seem. So this will be the last episode of Season 9 before we jug along into Season 10, or maybe not Season 10. I haven't quite decided how we're going to do it. I'm still trying to figure out which campaign we need to make for Season 10. I do want to go back and do a Federation campaign, but I got my hands on a whole bunch of alternative ship models that I want to try my hand at trying to make fit into the game. I'm currently trying to learn the materials editor right now just to sort of figure out what the heck to do. I may end up diving in more into that and asking on a couple of forums sort of help on how to actually make that work, because I want to change up a couple of the Federation ships before I actually go into the actual campaign. Mainly because there's a whole bunch of ship classes that end up just looking completely identical, which I kind of feel shouldn't. I'm mainly thinking of like the light strike cruisers and the carriers. There is a really cool model that I came across that basically looks like, I don't want to call it an inverted strike carrier like we have now, except it's got this big modular rectangular section up top, and some versions of that model have like big hangar doors, which would be perfect for strike carriers, and other versions of the model have multiple photon torpedo launchers, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then there's an Excelsior kit bash that I want to replace for the battlecruiser carrier, because right now the battlecruiser carrier is kind of yawning. It's not super interesting. And so that's sort of what we have planned for going into Season 10. We're probably not going to do Federation just because I want to get that all sorted out first. The thought of Klingon versus Lyrans has come up, and I am seriously considering that one. It should be, or not Lyrans versus Marak. It should be a relatively interesting campaign. And so far it's either that or something to do with the Hydrans versus the Lyrans. Again, not quite decided. Probably won't be decided until I actually sit down to start recording the first episode of Season 10. So last minute input is always welcome. This week we also will probably start Star Trek Away Team. Maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking about trying it tomorrow, but we're going to have to see on that. If it ends up going up tomorrow, then awesome. Everything went according to plan. If not, a couple of things got in the way. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for Season 9 right there. The final battle between a Beast Raiders battleship group and a Tigerheart battleship group ended with the Tigerheart ultimately defeated, as is our custom. So tomorrow will be the start of the brand new campaign. Or maybe Star Trek Away Team. Hopefully Star Trek Away Team. That's my plan. And then Season 10 later on in this week. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in whatever we do next.